And I'm going to talk to him.
Okay, so Richard Royce on the guitar has asked me to address a question. Like, if this were my last 8 minutes of Enlightenment video ever, oh, what a sad thought, what would I give you? What would I share with you? What would be the condensed form of all the knowledge I'd gained to this point? Well, one is that I'm kind of unimportant, ultimately, because there are many such points of light in the universe like myself. Many. And they do what they do. They illuminate. They illuminate. Human beings are walking stars. We are celestial objects. We are sources of light. Our eyeballs do not just take in light, they emit light. Because the world is seen through the light that your eyes emit. You're actually only getting the reflected quality of light that you put out through your eyes. If you see the world as a holy place, not some troubled bardo in between worlds that's expendable and will be ripped asunder by the dark forces or something. If you see the world as a holy, blessed land, then you are holding a part of that vision intact with your own light that you project from your being. There is no objective reality. It is a hyper-subjective world that we live in. In other words, you are powerful enough to save humanity just by believing that humanity can be saved. That's it. You don't have to go do anything. You could even just sit on a mountaintop meditating on humankind having already saved itself, and you are helping to hold that tapestry from being torn. And how many people are holding all the tassels of that tapestry all the way around so that it doesn't tear? How many? You cannot count. You do not know. Nobody has a corner on salvation. Nobody has a corner on divinity. We are all getting, all we have is a tassel. We don't have a corner. Maybe the angels get the corners and we get the tassels. I don't know, but what I'm telling you is, wisdom and truth are real, and they are in the fiber of our very being. So what you call divinity is that. Wisdom is virtue, said Socrates. Wisdom is virtue. And that means the integral knowledge of how all things fit together, how this really is the kingdom of heaven. It's not somewhere else. It is amidst you. I think he might have been speaking of the 0 point. I think he might have been speaking of the place from which all things are born and made anew, is the infinite center of regenerative potential that is distributed evenly throughout the entire universe. What Pierre Teilhard de Chardin would have called the Radial Energy Forces that come up through every infinitesimal pore of the universe itself. Newton called space the sensorium Dei, or sense organ of God. What does that mean? That space is sentient? That space is composed of intelligence itself? That all things and all forms are informed by that fundamental field of intelligence? Yes. That's what it says. It says that nature is alive and that you are inextricably a part of that. That you are not divorced from Mother Goddess or Father Time or the Dream Master of the universe. That is you. That is me. That is the music itself that unites us without language. That is the fact that we are cut out of pretty much the same stuff. You know, we have hearts, despite the fact that some of us become serial killers or racists or powermongers, warmongers, war profiteers. That we all have feelings. We're all human. So, being roughly the same, we cannot abandon one another, because the moment we abandon the other, we've abandoned something in ourselves. There is no objective being anywhere in the universe. We are one hyper-subjective person. We are that. Period. That's a sentence. We are that. We are that which is. We are this non-conceptual suchness as some Buddhists would say. The Buddha mind, the great perfection, the Dharmakaya, whatever you want to call it. We are the Bodhidharma, we are the truth, we are the movement of spirit in the world. There isn't a separation, my friends. It's not just that we have cast our boats out on the sea of spirit. We are made of the very currents of life that flow through the fabric of space and time. So why shouldn't we have an ability, a faculty, perhaps latent, perhaps unawakened, that would allow us to perceive the nature of the universe directly, just as the gods and angels do? If humanity isn't destined for some kind of science beyond mere mysticism and metaphysics, if humanity isn't destined for some kind of ethos beyond self-interest or even beyond the collective good, if we don't know what it is to be a fox, why will we ever care about saving the foxes or the bears or the wolves? In other words, we must learn interspecies communication. We must learn interspecies compassion. We must learn to awaken these latent faculties of psychic and empathic connection to all life. If we don't have that, we don't need a society, because we aren't civilized enough to deserve one. Friends and family, love everything. That's my message. If this is my last 8 minutes of enlightenment, love everything, and everything will love you back. And it loves with an intensity you can't miss. It loves with indelible force that writes tattoos all over your soul. You don't need nothing on your skin, baby. Your soul is tattooed with information you could look at all day and never get bored. Turn off the internet, because you are the internet of the gods. You are part of the mycelial web of consciousness that connects heaven to earth, and earth right back to heaven again. There are nutrients being transported along that umbilicus, and they're passing each other and giving each other high fives as they come up and down the macro or the microcosmic orbit of the entire universe, okay? Learn to practice a discipline of some kind, an energetic and or a bioenergetic discipline such as yoga, meditation, mantra. Do something to awaken your latent faculties, and you will never be without them, because they were yours from the beginning of time, and only you can claim them, because they are saved up for you and you alone. Merge those faculties with your fellows in some great council, and the world will be one again.